In the courtyard, the king called his town to a meeting to tell them that nothing.
So how did you guys find out about the contest, and why or how was the decision made to get involved?
Dave just kind of sprung it on us. I guess he entered us without us really knowing, and then one day in class he said, "You guys have this great project to work on. Go." And so we just kind of started rolling from there.
It's such a great opportunity for the students to be exposed to doing a recording project like this, but also to be exposed to the kind of people who are judging this contest and to get their feedback. It's very easy for me to look at it as their instructor and have a slightly jaded opinion of how good I think they are or aren't, but to have other people listen to it and go, gee, that's a good record. I think that's really kind of an awesome opportunity.
Was this a fun project for you guys to work on?
It was a blast. It was just, it gave us all a chance to really get in the studio, get some time in here with some really good microphones, and just record anything we could really think of.
How involved were you in terms of the decision-making process regarding which microphone to choose for the applications?
Once we decided to do this project, I helped them pick out the song. One of our other students had done an album with the group that they ended up using with the Sam and Yuri. Beyond that, I would listen to the mixes from time to time and say, I like this, I don't like that, or you might want to try doing this again for a variety of reasons. But I deliberately stayed out of the studio. I kept away from the recording sessions. I wanted them to do it themselves and to hook up microphones, to listen to them and say, this sounds good. We know that we did a good job here. I wanted them to make the decisions because that's what it's all about.
What was the most challenging part of the project for you guys to do?
The string quartet was pretty hard to record because
it was early in the morning. They had to warm up, but every time they did another take, it got tighter and tighter and tighter until, a dozen takes or so, everyone's just right on. And we finally said, we got it.
Probably the bigger challenge for them was, wait a minute, we can't use any direct sources, particularly with bass and so on. They're used to primarily using a direct input. So miking a bass rig and figuring out exactly how to do that, doing some things that they've never done before with pianos and the string section, that was a challenge.
Coming out of this project, were there any microphones that you had not been familiar with that surprised you and that you ended up using a ton?
Ooh, I'd say that VP.
The VP88 by far
wowed me. I'm going from never seen it before, never even heard of it, and then listening to it and going, oh my goodness. This is some amazing sound out of it.
I really liked using the Beta 52 for the bass cabinet. That just had a really rich sound.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And the KSM 44 sounded really awesome too. I think that's what we used on the flute, and
speaks for
it
itself.
sounded really good. Yeah.
Traded their dreams for a job and some pennies.
Well, basically with the flute, what I was going for was, a fairly close mic using the KSM 44 for that, and then a room mic using the VP88, just so I could get the kind of the rich, close sound of the flute, and also get the room sound with the VP88. And I think it worked out really well.
The piano, interesting story actually. We have very, relatively small studio space here, and we don't have a piano in this room. We couldn't go line level, so there's a lot of things gone. But over in another part of our campus, we have a big Steinway Grand. So we carted stuff all halfway across campus, recorded the grand piano, headphone mix, and everything. Once we put it in our studios here, our jaws just hit the floor. It's like, wow. That was. I think we ended up doing KSM 44s on over the Hammers.
Yeah.
And then the VP88 is the room again.
Yeah.
City will fall to the ground.
it was a neat project, and we really appreciate the opportunity that Shure presented these students to do this, and and it's something that I would love to do in the future with another group of students, because there are few opportunities like that, and I think the more that we all do to make these people better at the craft of making great music or projects of any type, we're all going to be better off.
Desperately believing our hopes and our dreams will be lost.